Good Thursday evening, race fans. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network, sister of the Digital Sim Sports Network, and our live coverage of the NetCode ESports Mighty Midget Series tonight. A double dip from Kern County Speedway, the newest addition to the iRacing track family. Looks to be a pretty good one. 16 of the best midget drivers on the service right here. You'll recognize all the names. P.G. Bo, Brandon, J.D. Laird. Oh, Craig Silby. I saw that name across there. Kurt Vincent's in here. Josh Gerlach. Bobby Yankee. Gunnar Harris in the house tonight. Billy Barros is here. So all the familiar names, familiar cars. They're going to double dip tonight. We're taking both shows right here from Kern County, so we won't be going very far away. When we wind things up right in session number 1, we will immediately make the switch over to the new server and jump into session 2 while interviews and everything kind of going on. All the drivers will start getting in there and getting themselves ready. Supposed to be over. Last week, I guess there was a little confusion. Driver missed the start of the second session because he was, well, I guess checking out the end of the broadcast. He was hanging out with you guys. So we'll remind all the drivers to hurry up and go get in the other servers so nobody's missing. Did not have a sweep last week. We'll see if anybody can sweep here tonight. Rough start to the season last week. Guys had a few cautions, few more than normal. But you'll get that with the start of a new season. A lot of new faces racing around each other. It kind of happens. So we expect things to clean up, clear up, and get a little bit better. And I don't know what they're I don't know what they're doing in the pits, but they are making some noise back there. They are getting ready for qualifying. We'll have heat races. And then we'll do our draw and our pole dash feature in that order. The second session, no qualifying. They'll a random draw, and then they'll get set up for pole dash. And all the fun stuff that goes with that is these guys are about to wind up their session. And qualifying is about to get started. There we go. I will be ready. Hey, looks like they've cleaned it all out. It's ready to go. So we'll get ready for the redraw stuff here when it comes time for that. But right now, it is qualifying time. We are going to race on the big track, and then they'll reset everything, and we are going to move inside on the small track that you were kind of seeing right there. Right now, a 23 car of J.D. Laird. There's the 93 of Reed Brochart. Wayne Adelski. That 13 machine getting out here. I see some Adelski fans in the Twitch chat already. Tucker Holliday made it late, but 17th car has found its way in. Right now, J.D. Laird, 14.48 quickest. Brochard with T-Bo Brandon, 14.44. Goes to the top of the pylon. We're going to go around. We're going to look at different drivers here. Bunches of them are out already now. Things start to shake out and move around a little bit. Let's go find the 71 car. That's the alwaysraceday.com machine of Josh Gerlach. A little wide there. Billy Barros jumps to second quick. 14.47. Gerlach sixth quick. Needs to really work. There's your guy. There's the Kiwi Conqueror. Looking at the 7 car. Told me he was going to paint that a different color tonight. It's still the same orange it was last week, but that's all right. Second time around, 14.33. So just a touch slower. Gunnar Harris in the 54. Second quick now. So 14.31. Your pole time, and Harris, a couple of big wiggles there, and the 38 for his first lap, of 66 for his second. So Tucker Holliday completing his second at 14.61. So he's about 0.3 off. not quicker on a lap number 2. Krikorian 1451 was 6th quickest out there. The only driver not taking time, that's the 08 car of DL Lemon. So it looks like everybody's got qualifying in. We're just waiting on the session to end. Nothing tomorrow or Saturday, but Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern. MARS series. They head back to dirt to wrap up the dirt season for those drivers. Pro late models out on the track on Sunday night. And Monday, Dirt Slingers is back with the big block modified series. That series is really starting to catch some steam. Been good races both of the first 2 weeks. Then we're back around here next Thursday. So things are start to fill in as things get cooler and leagues start to pick up. We'll get back to having 5 nights a week for you guys. Let's take a look at the starting grid for heat number 1. Going to be the 7 car of Craig Silby. On the pole next to Billy Barros in the 38. Then Bobby Yankee, 28 car, row 2 inside. The 88 of Riley Scott on the outside of that row. The 42 of Kurt Vincent inside. And Mike Gebhard in the 6th and final starting spot. A lot of 8s in this. 38, 28, 88, 81. For the first heat race, that's a lot of 8s. So get ready to run all 6 cars off. Should be 8 laps. Top 2 go into the redraw. See about getting that pace truck out of the way next time around. Pace truck should be gone, and the driver should get the green. Coming out of turn number 4 for heat 1. Week number 2. Round number 1 of week number 2. This on the big dirt oval, 3/8 of a mile here on the outside at Kern County.
Green.
Green flag in the air. Craig Silby wasted no time. He just straight jumped out in front. They'll have to catch him now as Yankee and Barros go side by side. Down on the inside, not quite enough momentum. Billy Barros grabs a spot. Yankee's third. Riley Scott, the 88, into the 4th spot. He gets tagged by Kurt Vincent. Vincent's going to keep the car going. No caution. Gebhard get by him. We'll go back out to the front. That is Silby. He enjoys about 0.6 of a second. Slider line for him into 1. He goes right to the same line in 3 and 4. Doesn't quite take it all the way out to the fluff until the very exit of the corner. And he is clicking them off 14:45, so just a tick slower than the qualifying time, and he is really starting to get away from Barros. Now Barros 1.4 seconds back now. Barros is enjoying about a second over Yankee. So keep it square, keep it pointed in the right direction, keep the tires facing down, and you'll be in the redraw, Billy Barros. Right now, Riley Scott ticking off laps just a tick slower than your leader, but faster than the car in front of him. He was trying to reel in Yankee. He made a big mistake there, and I think that's going to slow things down just a little bit for him. He rides in the 4th spot right now. Gebhard still 5th, and he's going to have a challenge. Here comes Vincent back at it after his little excursion. Oh, a little bump in the back right there. That got Gebhard out of shape. Vincent will go by into 5th, but Craig Silby, 1.1 seconds and holding, as he is on the final lap of heat number 1. He'll transfer into the feature and into the redraw, and Billy Barros running second right there. We'll go with him. Yankee, Scott, Vincent, and Gebhard all in the feature, but they will start from about the 4th row on back. So we'll get ready to look at the grid for heat number 2. 6 cars once again, and it starts with the 54 of Gunnar Harris. He will have the pole. 23 of J.D. Laird will be on his outside. You'll move to row number 2 and see the 16 car on the inside. That's Tucker Holliday. And then the 2 car of Robert Lynn will start outside of that row. Your back row for your second heat. I don't know why that jumped to there, but okay. Wayne Anelski, the 13 car on the inside. So there's your driver, Anelski fans. And then the 08 of DL Lemon. Final starting spot for heat number 2. Hello, Scotty King. DL Lemon not in the shiny gold car. That car was shiny gold. The wheel color was the color of the car the last time out with the Bitcoin stuff on it, but not tonight as he has different paint. And we'll get ready to go green here out of turn number 4 this time. Gunnar Harris.
Green, green, green.
Yeah, I'll bet that's true, Scotty. It's just as easy to crash him now as it was before. Evening, Mr. Nichols. Hope all is well up Ohio way. The green flag on heat 2, and Harris grabbed the lead. He leads lap number 1. Laird in second. Robert Lynn in the 2 car there running in that third spot. Tucker Holliday. Wayne Anelski, DL Lemon rounding things out. We'll go back close to the front. Harris has got about 5-6 car lengths on these guys, but we know that J.D. Laird usually finds a groove pretty quickly. And if he's going to find any speed, he'll start closing in here in the next lap and a half. Right now, the gap's starting to shrink up. That time he went way wide, cut about 1.5 off. He's going to go up by the fluff again. Cuts it down, didn't really pick much up there. Now he's going to go to the bottom, searching. Harris went way wide. Still 0.3 of a second. I think this battle's going to start to heat up here as soon as Laird figures out where he needs to set that 23 car. This time wide, 3-4, maybe 2 wide as the gap opens up 1/10 that time. Laps ticking off very quickly. Laird chasing Harris. Lynn chasing Laird. That's your top 3 right now. 2 laps remaining. And now Harris starting to settle into a groove. He's found his way around. Now he goes way wide, 3 and 4, keeps it up around the top. I didn't think that was going to work out, but it looks like he opened up a couple more tenths with the white flag in the air. Slider line through 1 and 2. That's where your winner in Heat 1 was running. But he was not doing this wide line down here in 3 and 4 like Harris is doing, but it's working out. He just keep growing the gap right there, and he gets to the checks first. So Harris and Laird will go to the redraw. Lynn, Anelski, Holliday, and Lemon will find their starting spots mid-pack and deeper in tonight's A main. Get ready for the third and final heat. 5 cars scheduled in this one. The 49 of Tebow Brannon on the pole with the 66 of David Krikorian. Beside him, both these drivers have been very fast. The end of last season through the special event race and last week, both drivers were fast, just not in the right place at the right time. Brannon did finish well in the second race. Josh Gerlach, 71. He'll start in the 4th spot next to Reed Brochart. Brochart, that white 93. We're used to seeing that car red and white, but tonight it is white with what looks like gold and black trim on it. And then John Borsti, 86. That's the always brightly colored purple and teal blue machine at the back. So the drivers in heat number 3. Trying to make their way into the redraw, which is the six top 2 from each, be 6 cars. They will come out and run about 5 laps for a pole shuffle. I'm trying to go and look at the form and see if the form is being filled in. Yeah, right now it is being filled in nicely. And I'll be able to tell you how our lineups are going to go here as soon as we get done with this second heat. But we're about to get the green flag right here out of turn number 4. Just waiting on Tebow. Find the loud pedal. He does, and we're underway. Don't forget 2 shows tonight. We're going to move from the big track to the inner, smaller quarter-mile track for show number 2. That ought to be pretty exciting. Right now, Brandon with the lead. Krikorian is second. Gerlach grabbed third away from Brochart. And then Boris just hanging on at the back right here. But the usual suspects seem to be fast again tonight. We saw Silby, Harris. We're seeing Brandon right now. We saw J.D. Laird be quick. Krikorian has picked up his pace over the last few races, and the 66 car is finding its way to the front of heat races and up on podiums at the end of, at the end of the night. And don't forget, don't be shy. Say hi in the chat. Plenty of the regulars already in here chatting it up. 4 down, 4 to go. Still Brandon, Krikorian, Gerlach, Brochart, Borst. And you're seeing the same line out of Tebow Brandon that we saw out of Gunnar Harris. Slider line in 1 and 2. And then wide all the way around 3 and 4, right up to the cushion right here. Two to go that time. 9/10 of a second between Brandon and Krikorian, and then a pretty good gap, about another 9/10 of a second between Krikorian and Gerlach. Brochart not too far behind Gerlach in the 93, staying in touch with the 71 right here. Everybody's got about 4 seconds on Borst. But 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Tebow Brandon's in the redraw. So is David, Krikorian, Gerlach, Brochart, and Borst. Got some work cut out for when we get to the features. They're going to be deep in this one. But we will get ready to take a look and see how they're going to line up for our dash. It looks like we're going to be Silby, Harris, Brannon, Barros, Laird, and Krikorian. That's what it looks like. We are just kind of waiting to see who's going to roll out next. Okay, we would have been dead wrong because the redraw shuffled things way up. It'll be J.D. Laird and Tebow Brandon on the front row. Craig Silby and Billy Barros in row 2, and then David Krikorian and Gunnar Harris in the third row. Cool, Tim. You should have raced even without that. It's not like we're going to come to your house and beat you with a stick or something, man. The driver's starting to roll out. We're getting them out here on the track right now. We're just waiting on a couple of more. Harrison, Laird, Brandon, and Barros are all out here waiting on Silby and Krikorian to make it out. Yeah, inside of row 2 and inside of row 3. How they finish here is how they'll start the first 3 rows of the feature. Silby needs to be inside row number 2 there, so. Doesn't look like Silby's making the call for. So I think Craig Silby's going to start 6th in the feature tonight. So we're going to take the 5 we got. handful of laps. JD Laird on the throttle. Where the clicker went. Laird already pressured by Brandon. Lap 1 in the books. Barros looked to the inside of Brandon. Had to really get off the throttle right there. He took a look again in 2. Still Laird out front. Brandon second. Harris just took third away from Barros. Barros is 4th. Krikorian is 5th. Coming around to put 3 in the books. And Laird from the pole has led it all. 4 down, couple to go here. Still Laird, then Brandon. Harris closing in. Barros is right around there. Krikorian. Runaway last. White flag should be out this time. Big slider from Harris. And he almost took off. The bumper on the front of the 49 goes for it again here. Brandon counters. And it looks like it'll be Laird, then Brandon, then Harris. Then Barros, and then Krikorian. So, that's how they'll start in tonight's A main in the front 3 rows. And we'll have Craig Silby starting in 6th. But I don't know, because he didn't sweep. He doesn't have to do an end of line. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell you really weren't having, a fantastic day, buddy. So, it's all good. So now we're just waiting to find out, are they going to put some more laps on the track, give these guys some more warm-up, or are we going to go straight to the feature? Just waiting to hear from race control. Guess while they're doing that, let's let us do this. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are coming back right in time for the grid to start rolling. It will not start this way. It will start with Laird and Brandon, then Harris and Barros. Krikorian and Lynn will make up row 3. Then behind that, everything is good. Gerlach and Brochart, Yonke and Scott, Gerlach and Brochart, Anelski, and Holiday, Vincent and Gebhardt, Borst and Lemon, and Craig Silby not making the call here. I don't know what happened to Craig. Looks like maybe he disconnected. But 30 laps for feature number 1. We'll talk to the top 3 at the end, and then we'll get ready for race number 2, which is going to move to the inner oval here, the small, short quarter-mile oval. That ought to be pretty exciting when they take these midgets from the big track down to the small track, but the green flag in the air. Woo! We got a little giddy up. We're going right there. They went in the corner, and Brandon thought he was going to take the high side all the way around. Laird slams the door. Brandon licked the wall just a little bit. He had to lose several spots. He is going to fall all the way to 6th.
All right, man.
And caution, Kurt Vincent has issues in the 42 car right here at the beginning of lap number 2. Was down on the inside there. Good job of staying off of Anelski. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that got 3 wide. Ooh, hello, tires. That got 3 wide, and it was not where he needed to be for that. So we'll slow things down just a touch. Get ready to reset the field here. So Silby, after winning race number 1, missing race number 2 last week, wins the heat race, and then misses the feature for race number 1. So we'll see if he comes back for race number 2. But J.D. Laird, Gunnar Harris, Billy Barros, David Krikorian, and Robert Lynn are the top 5 with 1 lap completed. We'll single file things up, get ready to go back to green. Laird.
Green.
Way outside, gets things going. Big advantage he got right there. Harris still second, but he's got company. Here comes Barros. Krikorian around the top side. And he's trying to put some pressure on Barros right there. Brandon up to 5th. Now trying to work his way back. Started on the pole, or started on the outside of the front row, excuse me. And promptly had problems on lap number 1. Now he's trying to fight back from that. He got to the inside of Krikorian there in 3 and 4. Back again in 1 and 2. I thought they were going to tap because Krikorian's car biked a little. And usually when you jump off the throttle, it'll set it back down, but it keeps it right there. And it slid out a little bit further. That's going to work out for him. Bobby Yankee back here in 6th, battling with Robert Lynn. And Lynn got the better of it there off the bottom of 2. Looks like Brandon had a problem up 3 and 4, or he was just running a really sharp cut down line. We'll go back to the front. Gunnar Harris now starting to get away from everybody. Right up to the fence. Put it up on the cushion right there. Takes it right out to that ragged edge right there. And he is out to 1 second. Barros and Laird going at it. Krikorian is right in this. So is Brandon, as those 4 cars all battle 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. That time Laird way up, got the right rear on top of the fluff, and it didn't cost him a whole lot. About 4 car lengths, but it allowed Brandon and Krikorian to close up on him. He still got the advantage. Does it again in 1 and 2. So Harris, 1.5 seconds. We're going to be 18 to go this time, creeping in on halfway. Barros comfortably in 2nd. Laird trying to reel him back in. Thibaut Brandon in tow behind that. Krikorian and Gerlach starting to go at it here. That's over 5th and 6th. Oh, Laird with a big problem. J.D. Laird, 1 too many times up over that cushion with the right rear. The car unloaded on him, and he drove it right down the track in front of company. Luckily, he didn't get hit, but he does fall all the way to the 8th position. That puts Brandon up to 3rd, Gerlach up to 4th, and Krikorian now right inside the top 5. Everybody chasing Harris, and he is just creeping away. A few meters here, a few meters there. Right around the very top. A little drone cam. Watch him. How close he's getting to that fence. Right up in the fluff. Just gets the right rear right up on top of that stuff where there's a little bit of moisture. Using the berm to help turn the car and give it a little drive down the hill. 13 to go this time. 2.3 seconds. The lead from Harris to Barros. Brannon still hanging in a third. Josh Gerlach right there. And these two have gone to the bottom to battle. Everybody in front of them running around the top. But Gerlach and Brannon, that time Brannon got a little wide. Gerlach's going to get to the inside. The battle now for the final podium spot. Coming around to 11 to go. Brannon goes top shelf. Does the momentum help him? Not this time. As Gerlach has found something with that left front tire just right on the berm right there. Really able to work the car well through the corners, and he's getting some good launch. Coming up off the exits. He clears Brannon and starts to pull away. He's closing in on Barros. 10 laps to go. Everybody still chasing Gunnar Harris. He's in the middle of 3 and 4, and Barros is just getting into that corner. Gunnar Harris going to be in traffic, but not now, as traffic will clear. We're going to go back here. This is Holiday. That looks like Yankee and Lynn. Oh, contact between Yankee and Lynn. Holiday gets a piece, then finds another piece of Anelski, then gets another piece from the 88 car. So, a lot going on in that one. Whole bunch to unpack there. So it looks like Holiday, enough damage. He is going to have to take that thing to the work area. He will not make it back out. 9 to go. Now the pace truck getting out of the way. Still Harris, Barros, Gerlach, Brannon, and Krikorian, the top 5. Tebow Brannon with nice recovery back up inside the top 4. So 9 laps remaining when they take the green, and we'll see who our top 3 are going to be as we get ready to head for round number 2 tonight.
Green, green, green.
Put the green flag back out, and Harris with a good jump. Going to clear by about 5 car lengths. The battle's going to be for 3rd and 4th. Now it's a battle for 2nd as Gerlach right back to the bottom, and he was able to work around Barros on the exit of 4. That was too close to call. I think Gerlach might have had it. Now out of 2, gets a little squirrely on the very exiter. I think he could have had the spot. Might lose 2 spots here as Barros is going to go back around, and Brannon now has gone to the top side. Gerlach trying to keep the car square and straight. 6 to go this time. Harris, 3/4 of a second in front of this battle. This is a 3-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Gerlach's on the bottom. Brannon just went through the middle. Barros was at the top. Gerlach clears. Barros, woo-hoo-hoo. That was close. As Barros and Brannon almost got together down the back stretch. Not sure if I should call that a shoot or a stretch because it's so short. But now Brannon gets a launch. He'll go around Billy Barros. Put Tebow Brannon to 3rd. 4 laps to go for your leader. Gerlach firmly in 2nd. Brannon trying to find a little pad to launch on. Couldn't get it done. Krikorian has problems. Oh, no, David Krikorian, the 66 car. He was battling with J.D. Laird. Into the corner. Oh, that looks like a NetCode deal to me. 360. He kept it going, but rule is you 360, especially with traffic coming, you're going to get a caution each and every time. So that's going to knock us down to a 3-lap shootout to finish this one. Only 3 cautions thus far, 37 laps. Last week, I think we had 3 cautions by lap 7. So the boys have done a fantastic job of cleaning things up. Should get the one to go. We should be ready to go green for a 3-lap shootout. Harris, then Gerlach, then Barros. So those two spots have swapped during the last short run. Then Brandon Laird, Yankee Scott, Lynn Anelski, and Vince at the top 10 right now. Tucker Holiday is back on the track, but he's a couple of laps down. Green flag back in the air. 3-lap shootout. Will there be a battle for the lead? Gerlach had a good run up off the bottom.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And caution again, as we're going to have meeting of the minds back here. It looks like John Borst. And that's the 08 machine. Oh, John Borst is all around. I don't know why we didn't get to see Borst do his thing. Now we'll get to see what happened to the 86 car. He's right there. He and that 93 car of Reed Brochart are close together. Oh, Robert Lynn got out of shape, come across in front. There's where we got our caution. So a 2-lap shootout this time. And it looked like Gerlach was going to have a little bit of a run out of 2 and heading into turn number 3 on that restart. He was maybe going to make a challenge out of it, and it just did not materialize because the caution came out. So we'll see what happens on this restart. He'll get up there and he'll get pretty tight to Harris. Harris waited just a second. Good start. Now Gerlach goes in. Barros comes in. Barreling hot.
Man, caution is out. Caution is out.
That is the parking lot. So Gerlach goes in, goes low. Barros super fast. Got his left front and his left rear up on the berm. Kind of threw the car around to the outside. That will likely change things just a little bit at the front because that'll put Harris out front with Brandon second, Laird third, Scott fourth, and Vincent up to fifth. As we'll green-white checker one more time. Should get one to go this time, I think. We'll watch the pace truck. Looks like it vanished off to the right there. And we will see if Gunnar Harris can get another good restart like he did the last time. Finish this first session off. Don't forget, session 2 coming right up after this. We'll move to the inner oval right here at Kern County.
Green flag
Back in the air. That time Gunnar went to the bottom. Here goes Brandon. J.D. Laird took it way wide. That didn't work for him earlier in the race, but it looks like it might this time as he got a good run down the backstretch. Brandon couldn't find grip. White flag of this time. Comes Riley Scott into third now. Laird took it back. But Harris through 3 and 4. He'll win the opening session of round number 2. Brandon in second, Laird in third. And then Vincent comes up to fourth and Brochart rides home in fifth place in session number 1. So we will get our drivers around. And we will see if we can talk to the top 3. Usually we're pretty good at it. righty. There's JD. I know Brandon is in there somewhere. And we'll wait and see if Mr. Harris joins us. But let's get our third place driver in here. JD Laird, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Roger.
Well, auspicious start to this thing, and then you made a heck of a recovery to get a podium out of it, man. Tell us about the feature.
First and foremost, I got to apologize to Bo. I didn't expect him to be hanging on my right rear as much as he was, and I figured I was clear to slide up and put him in the fence. And then he inadvertently put me in the fence after I screwed up. So it was like tit for tat, and then we were just magnets the whole race, it seemed like. But it was fun. Definitely learned a little bit. Step one is to not drive like a moron, and then everything else seems to fall into place.
I just think that is indicative of racing in general. So I'm glad that lesson hit early. The big track, it looked like the racing was pretty good. You guys had a couple of lines out there. What's your expectation when we move into that little quarter mile on the inside?
Break out the battle bars, the stiff radius rods, the old shocks. If it was a real thing, it's just when we go to the little tiny track, it's gonna be fun. But can we just go stay at the big track?
Yeah, no, that's not how the schedule was working out, man. But an awesome run. You're up on the podium. Give us some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get ready to head for session number 2.
Well, I just got to give a shout-out to Anderson Surfboards. This scheme was run by a buddy of mine, Daniel Anderson, who ran a Focus Midget and was the Ventura Raceway champion when I worked on it. So I tried to throw a little luck my way and kind of drove how he did his first race in it. So hopefully we'll remember how he did it when he won a championship and be a couple spots better in the next one.
All right, man. Well, congrats on a good run. Good luck in the second one, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you after round number 2.
Likewise, Roger.
JD Laird finishing in the third spot in session number 1 for week number 2. And now this guy, I don't know, man. Maybe we didn't give him the broadcaster's curse talking to him in the warm-up session last week because he came out and ran a heck of a race in session number 2. He's up here on the podium again. Tebow, going to make a fixture up here in the booth with me at the end of the night, it looks like.
Well, I hope so. I feel bad about last week. I had a good run going in the second race, and I had a bit of a hardware failure, and that messed me up just enough to put me into the wall and ruined a really good run I had going last week. But yeah, tonight so far so good. I really can't complain about a second place finish. I didn't feel like I was very good tonight, to be honest. I felt like I could have easily ended up 5th, and so yeah, coming home in second. I definitely got a bit of a freebie with Josh and Billy getting together near the end there. But, yeah, I can't complain about a second tonight.
Nah, and, I asked JD a minute ago, we're going from the bigger track, which is only about 3/8 of a mile. And we're going to squish it down a ways and put everybody in on the quarter mile. What do you think is going to be the order of the day? Since it looked like we had 2 lanes of racing pretty much for the entire feature on the big track.
Yeah, I hope so. It didn't feel 2 lanes, I'll tell you that much. It felt like it was pretty much 1 lane, and then it very quickly went to the bottom. So it'd be nice to see. It'd be nice to see 2 lanes, even 3. Just I'd love to see it more hooked up. It slicked off really fast and really hard right there. So I'm definitely not as good in the slick. I still need to be working on that. That's partly why I'm okay with a second place finish tonight. So small track's going to be interesting. I've never run it. I've run this big track a few different times in some different cars and stuff, but not the midgets until tonight. So second place doesn't feel too bad. The small track, that's going to be something. I think we might get some hurt feelings tonight.
Oh, well, we'll see how that goes. First race was pretty clean, so hopefully the second one will be just as good. Let's get some shout-outs and thank yous, and we'll let you head over to session number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shout out to Varix.com for all your e-commerce needs. Mighty good marketing. Want to throw a quick thanks to my dad who's watching tonight, my wife for letting me do this, you, Roger, for broadcasting, and Josh and Robert for throwing on a great show every week. So,
all right, man. Well, good luck in session 2. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you at the end of that one as well.
I'd love that.
All right, Tebow, Brandon finishing second. Now we can grab The winner in round number 1 for week number 2. He shows up and shows out. Gunnar Harris, good run tonight, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Looked like 54 car was hooked up. You really didn't have much in the way of challenges until the last couple of restarts.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on where to go, man. I just was trying to stay up top and ripping that thing. And, man, I didn't know where they were coming from. Honestly, I didn't want that yellow, but I didn't. With no mirrors, man, I wasn't too sure on where to go. And I don't think anybody was going to be able to pass me, running the top. They were going to have to throw a pretty big slider just because I had a pretty big lead there before the yellow. But other than that, I was just trying to keep my line and, just fend those guys off.
Well, pretty big change when we go from the big track to the small track. What do you think is going to happen when we move inside on the quarter mile?
Oh, is that where we're going in this next race?
Yes, sir. Right to the inside.
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm going to not show up for that one. But I didn't know that was the case there. But I might. I'm not too sure. If I can put this right rear Hoosier up against the fence, I'll let it eat, man. But I ain't running the bottom.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if someone could do something as short as the bottom is here. But we haven't had this. We had a race last week, had 2 different winners. You got a chance to sweep. First time in this season to sweep. I don't know. I may not be all that willing to skip a race if I had a chance to sweep a night.
Man, you're right, man. I might have to try and get the broom out and sweep this field, but we'll see what happens. I'm not a big guy, but I kind of got to eat, so I don't know if I make the next race.
I understand that. Give me your shout-outs, your thank yous, and then we'll let you figure out if you're going to go to the hot dog line or you're going to go crawl back in the car.
Oh, man, the wiener line? Nah, I'm going to pass out on that one, but I'd like to thank Benny's Designs, Bandits Design, and Chase Wolf Motorsports. Yeah, man, other than that, I ain't got no sponsors. This is a one-man show, and I put every dime into this deal. So, yeah, and I appreciate you for broadcasting.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the win. Hopefully we get to see you in round number 2, and if not, then hopefully I'll get to see you next week. But good run, buddy, and it was good to see you back on the track.
All right, later.
Gunnar Harris picking up the win in round number 1 of night number 2. He was on fire tonight out there on the big track. We'll see if he comes back for the second show. If he does, he's got a chance to pick up the sweep and be the first one this season to do so. Harris, Brandon, and Laird, 1, 2, 3. Then Vincent was 4th, Brochart in 5th, Scott 6th, Danelski 7th, Lemon 8th, Krikorian 9th, Gerlach 10th, Gephardt 11th, Lynn 12th, 13th was Barros, Yankee 14th, Holiday 15th, Bohr 16th, and Silby did not make the start. We'll see if he makes a start in session number 2. We are going to be on a very short break. I am going to just toss in a little bit of tunes for you guys to sit and enjoy. Don't go anywhere because we're going to move to that small track on the inside that you see right there in the shot for the next round of this thing. And they're going to do 30 laps in there. A little bit more of a condensed show. No qualifying. Random draw for your heats. Top 2 to the dash. So on and so forth. Off to the 30-lap feature. But I am going to get us where we can have a little tunage, and we will come right back ready for round number 2 shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Green flag, green flag. Green, green, green. Green flag, green flag. All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Well, I don't know why it was doing that, but it did it again. That little button on the microphone kind of put itself in a funky position and half muted me. Sorry about that, guys. Brochart, Gray, Brandon, Harris, Barros, Laird, and Elski Krikorian. Still 27 laps to go.
Green flag.
Try not to let that get in the way right there. Eek. So Brochard able to stay out in front, doing a pretty good job. 93 car starting on the pole, and he is hanging tough out there. Rylan Gray giving chase. Gunnar Harris now up to third as he got around Brandon on the restart. All right, he's going to see if he can go past these two cars in front and go after the sweep. Tebow Brandon in the fourth spot. Billy Barros in fifth. Wayne Anelski in sixth. Now the battle at the front. Gunnar Harris pushed his way through, got into second. Brandon now trying to go through. Oh, no, little loose out in front, and Harris going to go for a ride. Not a big one, but enough of one. We'll go back, take a quick peek. He got through in the middle with a slider that cut between cars. Had Brandon right on his back end right here. Got into. I got up and Brandon just found that push bar and give him a little bumpity bump, and around he went. So he'll have some work cut out if he is going to come back. He'll be in 13th when we restart, but there's still 24 laps to go, and that car was super fast in session number 1. Brochart still able to stay out front and has made good use of starting on that pole. He and Rylan Gray from the front row, they have kept them 1-2 since we dropped the green. Barros third, Anelski fourth, Krikorian in fifth. Brandon went to the back with Harris for his part in the incident. So those two will try to work their way back through traffic together as we get ready to restart here. 24 to go. Make it 23. Brochart. Little sideways there. Luckily it was on the restart. Nobody had a lot of momentum. He and Gray hanging tough. 1-2. Wayne Anelski up here in the 4th spot. David Krikorian. Rough luck in round 1, and he is trying to bounce back from that. Did it last week, too. Had a rough night. Bounced back, had a good finish in session number 2 last week. Trying to do the same. Maybe if he can get over that problem in session number 1 thing. So right now, Tebow Brandon have a crash? at the back. Good run down the back stretch into 3 and 4. Goes high. Oh, right rear. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not even sure that's what brought the caution out because that was quick. Holiday may have brought out the caution right here. He's right in front of Harris. Oh, yeah. A little light getting into 3 and got a little push from behind. Started a chain reaction. He may have bumped the wall going down the back stretch and it broke his momentum. So we will see how that shakes out. But it's still Reed Brochart, Ryland Gray, Billy Barros, Wayne Danelski, and David Krikorian through the top 5 as we get ready to restart again. Green flag once again. Reed Brochart. First restart, gets the car. Did that the last restart. Got the car up there and got it just a little off kilter. This time Gray's going to really go at him in 3 and 4, and I think if he pushes the issue, and he does, new leader, 10 laps in. Ryland Gray goes to the point. Barrows still in 3rd and now trying to put pressure coming up behind, and that'll all go away. Oh, boy. This looks interesting. Let's see if it is the 49 car. He and Gerlach are here with Kurt Vincent around the top. Out of 4, yeah. Yep. Gerlach was in it. Vincent was in it. Brandon was in it. And that's just putting a car in a precarious position. And that door closed because that driver had no idea he was going to be right there at that moment. So we saw it twice last week. Same driver made the same exact move you just saw right there, and the same exact result happened last week. So, reset, regroup. That'll put Ryland Gray, Reed Brochart, Billy Barros, David Krikorian, and Wayne Danelski your top 5. Then Yankee, Harris, Holiday, Scott, the top 10. Vincent and Gerlach. 11 and 12, that's the remaining cars on the pit road. Or on the track, I'm sorry. Brandon, Gebhardt, Lynn, Lemon, and Borst all in the work area or on the trailer early. I think I moved the microphone a little while ago and it bumped that switch.
Green flag, green flag.
I tried to move it closer to my face. It's the only thing I can figure out is how I even touch the microphone. So restart right there, 19 to go, Ryland Gray. Barrows and Brochart went at it pretty hard coming out of 2, and Brochart's going to get the better of that deal as he will hang on to the spot. Single file all the way back to Laird and Danelski. Those two trading a little bit of tire lettering. This time a crash for Laird coming off of. And Gunnar Harris and Tucker Holiday look like maybe they've had an entanglement. That's Yankee in front of Harris. Oh, yeah. And Holiday got in there a little bit straighter and a little bit hotter than I think he thought he was going to. So Tucker Holiday. We're probably not going to have. Oh, geez, Kurt Vincent. What in the world just happened to him? A little tappity tap there, and it doesn't look like that much. It could have broke the suspension, and I just can't see it. Oh, no, he just went in, caught the berm, and did a Tommy tip over right there. So, yeah, bad news. As we are in a war of attrition all of a sudden in session number 2. I think we're down to about 8 cars. Gray, Brochart, Barros, Krikorian, Danelski, Yankee, Gerlach, Holiday. That's the 8 cars that are remaining on track. Everybody else has died and gone to heaven. At least race car heaven tonight. 17 laps to go. We'll see if 8 cars can get 17 laps in real quick here.
Green, green, green.
Gray with a good start. Brochart still hanging on to second, but I thought Barros was going to go slider right there, and it didn't work out. Danelski And Gerlach 4 and 5, and we'll see. Gerlach was having a really good run in session number 1. Yeah, he's out of sorts now. He's going to give up a spot right there as he got the car all up on the berm. And Tucker Holiday goes by and takes over 5th. Krikorian and Yankee behind. But right now it's all the 06 car. Rylan Gray. Kind of putting that car wherever he really wants to right now. Yeah, no sweep tonight there, Gunner. Sorry to see that, buddy. Gray 1.4 seconds out over Brochard. And Brochard having a really good second session tonight. Started on the pole, and he's kept it in the top 2, at least through the first half of this one. And it looks like he has got it kind of rolling right in front of Brochard right here. You got to go fast when you can, man. I really don't know what to say. I'm just making stuff up as we have another caution. I think Tucker Holiday may have crashed. That's not Tucker Holiday. This is, though. And got it around the top. Doesn't look too bad right there. What? Found the fence. Right about here. No, I don't know why it shows him as the culprit in this one. He looks okay now. I am not sure who. I'm not sure who our caution was for. It said it was for the 16 car. That was not the case right there, so. We'll get the field to reset. Holiday does have a problem because he is now off track, so. Maybe it was, and we just didn't get to see it. Maybe it happened after everybody slowed down, but he did get credited with one right there. So I'm not going to argue with the scoring and timing. Gray, Brochart, Barros, Anelski, Gerlach, Krikorian, Yankee. That's 7 cars. I see J.D. Laird maybe back on track in the 9th spot. About 5 laps down, but he'll make it go. And then Riley Scott is also out there 5 laps down. So 10 cars on the track, 8 of them still on the lead lap. We're going to come around, 10 to go. Getting right down to the very end of this one. Rylan Gray out in front, took over right around the halfway point. Actually about 10 laps in, I guess. He took over. He has led the last 10. We're going to make it 11 at the end of this one. If he can keep it out of the fence, that'd look like a little sketch coming out of 2 for him. Barrow still not able to get around Brochart despite his best efforts. Anelski is up to 4th. Give the 13 a little bit of screen time here as he's having a good run in session number 2. Gerlach is battling Krikorian for the 5th spot. And Gerlach once again has gone down to the very bottom. Don't think it's going to work out that time. Here comes Yankee around the top side. Track completely different in session 2. Because about this time in session 1, the bottom was rolling strong. And now it is right up by the top. Gray will come around, 6 to go this time, 1.3 seconds. The lead for him. So the wave lap, 5 to go. Final feature of the evening. Rylan Gray, Reed Brochart. Brochart's got about a half a second lead over Barros. Barros has got a pretty good gap. Call it 6-7 tenths over Anelski. Closer to 8 now. Reed Brochart with a great run in the 93 car tonight. Session number 2. Trying to hang on, stay on the podium. He's got to hold off Billy Barros for 3 more laps. Barros went to the bottom, lost a lot of distance. I don't think the bottom is where it's at right now. I think it's middle to the top, and you got to be careful how you get in through the middle to get to that top. 2 to go for your leader. 2nd and 3rd are right here on the screen still. Brochart now under fire as Barros got to the middle and got the car to stick. We'll come to the white flag. Gray will get there first. Barros. Can he keep the 93 car rolling out of 2? Needs to find that momentum. Gets a good run this time. It's Rylan Gray through 3 and 4. He'll win session 2 tonight. Reed Brochart is going to hang on for second. And Billy Barros will run third this evening. Anelski and Krikorian 4 and 5. And then Yankee and Gerlach rounding things out for lead lap cars in feature number 2. So we'll give the boys just a moment. Oh, let's see. Billy. I know he's in there. And Reed is in there. We'll wait and see if Rylan makes it. Hopefully Rylan makes it for his interview. He's pretty good about that stuff. I ain't too worried about him. But let's get Billy in here. Billy Barros, copy.
Roger Wagner, how are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Good second session for the 38 car tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I felt like I had a pretty decent pace all night. Just made a gruesome mistake running into the back of Josh in that first feature. So first of all, big apologies to him. I feel so bad about that.
Yeah, that was towards the end there, and it looked like everybody was trying to get to the bottom because the bottom was kind of where everybody was making hay, and a little bit hotter than you thought you got in there. Is that what happened in the first one?
Yeah, he got by me on the bottom, and I knew he had the pace. I mean, that was his race to win, as fast as he was going. So on that last restart, I thought, hey, I got to really send it in there just to keep up with him and maybe have a chance at staying behind him for a second, and just misjudged my entry a little bit and caught him with the right rear, and you saw the rest.
Well, this session a little bit different, and you were giving chase to the 93 car. You guys, really kind of chasing Rylan Gray once he got out front, but it looked like you guys were pretty even. What was it going to take? More laps and more tire or more track wear out, or what to get around that guy towards the end?
Yeah, maybe a couple more laps would have been nice. I felt like I was starting to struggle a little bit, but then I started reeling in Reed when I switched to the bottom and just could never quite get the room coming out of 4. It's so tight on the exit, and he would always have such a big run, and I wasn't going to squeeze him, especially after my first feature. So yeah, I had nothing for him. Definitely had nothing for Rylan either. Congratulations to him for just being class of the field on that one.
Well, a great run, man. A podium finish. Give us some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you celebrate this evening.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. It's nice to finally be back up here after a long break. So thanks to Josh and Robert, as always, for putting this thing together, and thank you for broadcasting it. I always really enjoy going back and watching the awesome coverage, so thank you very much.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and congrats on a good run. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Sounds good.
Billy Barros finishing in the third, and now we haven't talked to him a couple of times over the last couple of seasons, but he made it look really good tonight. Started the 93 on the pole, and he runs second pretty much the entirety of the feature. Once Rylan Gray got by him, didn't really have a whole lot in the way of challenges. Reed Brochart, good run tonight.
Hey, thank you, Roger. It feels really good to be getting interviewed by you finally.
Well, it's been a minute, I know that, but is that a little Mighty Ducks tribute I see on the side of the car there?
You know what? Considering it's opening week for hockey, one of my teammates on the B team, Stephen Moore, threw this together, and I figured, you know what? It's fitting. It's the first time out with the car. A lot of the guys were throwing out compliments, and I'm pretty stoked to put it on the podium.
Well, maybe it's the paint that's helping out. Maybe we need to keep it until we have a bad night.
I'm going to say, I feel like you get an extra 10 horsepower with a good vinyl wrap.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Nobody understands, and even the aerodynamics is just slicker and sleeker. Nobody gets that. I'm glad you do.
Oh, man. It's just the speed secrets. You already know, Roger.
Well, an awesome run, man. It looked like the car was pretty hooked up. You led a little bit of this thing, and that's got to be a pretty good feeling. Maybe help build a little momentum as we get further into the season.
Yeah, exactly. The car felt really good. I was kind of running that middle high groove pretty much throughout the main. Rylan got a really good run off of me on turn 4, I think like around lap 12 or so. And I kind of at that point was just trying to maintain. He was clicking off some good laps and had a fantastic race with Billy right behind me. And I also want to thank him for helping with the broadcast tonight, and of course you as well, Roger. It was a good battle up front.
All right, man. Well, give me some shout-outs. Give me some thank yous before we let you celebrate a good night of racing here at Kern County.
I appreciate it. First off, I got to throw a shout-out to my team, the B team, with David Krikorian, myself, Stephen Moore, and Charlie Butcher. The guys have been supporting me through pretty much the beginning with all of this. And also want to throw out a thank you to Josh for putting on the series. Him and Robert, they do a really good job. And, yeah, just had a great time. And thanks for everybody for tuning in.
All right, man. Great run tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, Roger.
Reed Brochart bringing it home second tonight. Good run for the 93 car. And now I have not seen this guy in a minute. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, and I can't remember how long. But he comes in session 2, takes the 06 car, and in 10 laps puts it out front and runs away and hides in this thing. Rylan Gray, great run in session 2 tonight.
Thank you.
Been a while since I talked to you, man. Where you been hiding?
Racing season's been a big toll this year. We've gotten around 40 to 50 races in just with local sprint car racing in Indiana, and it's been pretty successful. But, this winter, racing's starting to die down, so I'll be on here a lot more probably.
Very good. It'd be good to see you back on the track a lot more. Well, tell us tonight, you jump in here, session 2, Kern County, new track. Looks like it is pretty good for these little midget cars.
Yeah, I think the new build with the tracks blowing off definitely makes the midgets about anywhere race really good, especially here. The slick here is really, really slick, and it gets really blown off on the exits of turn 4 and turn 2 here. So just makes it more dominant around the top because that's just where the grip is. So it makes it a lot more technical too because it makes the track a lot narrower.
Well, it took a few laps for you to get around a 93 car, just sizing him up or trying to figure out where you were going to be able to find the grip to make that pass.
Yeah, it was just tough because, no mirrors here, and that's a big advantage in iRacing is knowing who's behind you and where you can see. So you got to use more of a real racing sense, and I think that gives me an advantage too. So I knew the main thing was just getting in front of Reed, and then I knew it probably would have been clearer after that.
Well, an awesome run, man. I'm sure you got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you celebrate a big win this evening.
Oh, yeah. You got to thank RaceCPI.com and Tyler Payne for those guys giving me the opportunity to let me build for them again, build for the midgets for this season. So if you need midget setups, go to them. And JT, Jonathan Schaefer, for the great scheme I'm running.
All right, man. Well, great run. It was good to see you back on the track. Hopefully I'll get to see you a few more times until we do. And keep going fast and turning left, brother.
Thank you.
Rylan Gray picking up the win in session number 2. Good run for all these guys. I know we had some attrition towards the end, but it's still a pretty good night of racing. For the first time that this series has come to Kern County, and I think I like this track for these midgets. Looks like it's pretty racy. Our official results: Gray, Brochart, and Barros 1, 2, 3. Anelski was 4th, Krikorian 5th, Yonke 6, Gerlach 7, 8 to Laird, 9 to Scott, Holiday 10th. Vincent was 11th, Harris 12th. No sweep for Gunner this evening. Brandon Ian 13th, Gebhardt 14th, Lynn 15th, Bohr 16th, and DL Lemon finishing in the 17th and final spot. Good night of racing. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Without you guys, there's no reason for us to do it. Without all the great leagues, nothing for us to cover. So we appreciate everybody that gets involved in that. Thanks for those who jumped in and made the chat fun to watch tonight. That makes it good. Sorry about the microphone issue. I guess I must have, when I reached to move it, I must have accidentally hit the button and half muted myself. So thanks for Scotty pointing that out to me and letting me get that thing turned back on so you could hear. Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Monday, 8 Eastern. And then we'll be back here next Thursday night as we start to fill in the schedule a little more each week as things start to get colder. But until we